born from traditional wisdom. The Asian healer who uses the leaves and seeds of the neem tree, Isataracta indica, to successfully treat cancerous skin lesions. The Polynesian navigator who consults the stars, planets, sea swells, and the extensive database of observations stored in his mind to travel with purpose across thousands of miles of ocean, just as his ancestors did millennia ago. Cultures in peril. At this fraught juncture in world history, many cultures are facing annihilation. Some cultures change organically, just as cultures have changed and adapted since human life began. Some are steamrolled, swept up in changes not of their own making by powerful external forces. One powerful force is globalization, which creates artificially homogenized experiences at the expense of unique cultures. And some cultures change brutally, beaten down by disaster or violence. As social anthropologist and former National Geographic explorer-in-residence and contributor to this book, Wade Davis wrote in 2007, anthropology suggests that when peoples are squeezed, extreme ideologies frequently emerge, inspired by strange and unexpected beliefs. The Shining Path in Peru, Pol Pot and homicidal mania of the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia, Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda are all examples of malevolent, atavistic movements that have sprung from conditions of chaos and disintegration, disenfranchisement and disaffection. Culture, in other words, matters. It provides the vital constraints of tradition and comfort that allow true civilization to exist. To this I would add the unspeakable atrocities of ISIL, staggering not only in terms of wanton human slaughter, but also the wholesale destruction of the ancient cultural heritage of the Middle East. The barbarity that lurks somewhere in our nature is tempered, for the most part, by cultural stability. Cultures can be powerful and galvanizing forces. When directed toward noble goals, this is a good thing. But when cultural constructs are subverted and manipulated in a context of instability, the result can be inconceivably tragic. Embracing the ethnosphere. Each cultural loss is a diminution of the world's cumulative and intricately entwined web of human experience and expression we can usefully think of as the ethnosphere. Just as the biosphere represents the Earth's biological heritage, the ethnosphere embodies its human legacy. And just as the biosphere and the planet's physical well-being and future is under threat to an unprecedented degree, so too is the ethnosphere. If we consider just one component of human culture, language, we find that of the world's approximately 7,100 languages, about half seem destined to disappear by the end of this century. The scope of this potential loss dwarfs any anticipated losses we face in the biosphere. While ethnic groups worldwide face uncertain futures, on the individual level, people are more interested than ever in learning about their own ethnic identity and ancestry. Celebrity ancestry programs on TV also fuel the enthusiasm. Genealogy as a pastime has never been more popular or accessible. Old-school techniques for obtaining clues about forebears, corresponding with distant relations, poring through church registries, scrolling through rolls of brittle microfilm in dusty library basements, are still a productive pursuit. But for people yearning to capture their own identity and ancestry, much of what a genealogical newbie needs to get started is now available with a few clicks online. The Genealogy 101 feature of this book gives useful tips and a plan of action for how to begin your search. The modern technology of DNA testing gives ancestry seekers additional tools that guide them further back toward their ancestral horizons than they ever imagined. When test results arrive, the individual becomes irrevocably linked to the ancestral past. The concept of them in the present suddenly becomes us in the past. And when these findings are put into perspective with a larger picture of human ancestry provided